My first car was a VH Commodore station wagon, which was the family commuter, which was pretty cool because it was a V8 4.2 litre. So cruising around, and that was pretty cool. But watching the R32 GT-R going around Bathurst, I think pretty much inspired me to get something with a turbo in it. I was looking round to buy a turbo and thought, oh, one of you guys said, I'll go to this importer that imports cars from Japan. And he said he'd be able to do quite a good deal, maybe to trade the Commodore in for a turbo or an R32. And I thought, yeah, that would be pretty good. So went and had a look at the R32 and didn't realise it was a 4-door, and looked at it in the car and I thought, the 4-door was pretty cool. Even though it wasn't a 2-door, I still loved the car because it was silver. I like the colour silver. And it worked out a pretty good deal, and that day I drove out in a R32 GT-ST, and the power was phenomenal compared to the old Commodore, and just fell in love with it since then. I bought the Skyline in 1999, and since then I've done many modifications to the car. I think the first modification was I got it chipped and put a boost controller in, which brought the rear wheel kilowatts up to, I think it was 140, which was pretty good for the first car to have a lot of power like that. Since then, first thing I think I upgraded the front mount intercooler, then put a K&N filter, and then pretty much had it stock for like that for a couple of years. Then I blew the motor, so I thought it was time to get a bit more serious, and so it wouldn't happen again. So I put forged pistons, bigger cam, GT-R injectors, and put a bigger radiator in there, alloy radiator. And since then, the motor's been awesome, hasn't missed a beat, and it's really given me a lot of pleasure, like on the tracks and on the road. And I think then the second thing that happened was the transmission blew. So then reconditioned it, then it blew again, and I thought, it's time for a manual. So I put an R33 manual in there, and a one-piece tail shaft, and heavy-duty clutch. Since then, track days have been more fun compared to having the auto transmission in the car. After that, for a couple of years, didn't touch it. Then the suspension gave away, so I decided to put some BC coilovers in there, which are mid-range in the performance-wise, but suits me as it was a daily car. So being a daily, it's beefed up the suspension. It was really hard, so going over bumps and potholes and stuff, really, you could really feel it, which made it feel like a race car, even though it's not a race car. Then having put a HKS 2530 turbo on it, at the same time putting a 3-inch stainless steel exhaust from turbo to tail, which really gave a nice tone. I don't think the neighbours liked it being in a dead-end street, but I don't know, I think they just got to know me, and yeah, Matt's home, and all the neighbours are telling me they can hear me come down the street, which is pretty funny. After doing all the modifications, decided that the brakes and the rims and tyres were getting a bit old and needed a bit of an upgrade. So I upgraded the front brakes to a 28mm GT-R disc on the front, slotted, and put slotted on the rear, which really helped, as well with the braided lines, and upgraded the brake fluid, which really helped it to stop from having all the power that I do now. Upgraded the rims to an 18-inch rim, 8-inch on the front, 9-inch on the rear, and having 235s on the front and 265s on the back, which really helped having the Nittos semi-slicks wrapped around them. Starting off at 100 and so kilowatts when I first bought the car, then going from 100 to 140, which was seen like a big improvement, and then going to 250 as it is today is an awesome car to go around the tracks. The first car show was in 2004. It was through a good mate of mine who's a mechanic, and they put, I think it was nearly 15 cars into Auto Salon, and when he asked me, "Oh, Matt, we want to put your car in Auto Salon," and I just went, "Yeah, of course." I thought that was awesome. That was like probably one of the highlights of my life with the car. To put it in an Auto Salon, it's unthinkable. In 2014, I had a little fender bender, which damaged the front bar. So I had to go into the panel beaters, and I thought this might be a good time to give it a bit of a facelift. So I put a Verox rear bar, side skirts, and put a GT-R front style front bar, pumped the rear guards, so I could put bigger tyres on, and gave it a fresh coat of paint, which it was needing because there was a lot of stone chips as being a daily driver. Since doing all the modifications and all the spray paint, I really love the car and can't get rid of it.